Welcome to today's episode of Under New Mismanagement, where we stop pretending that work doesn't hurt. Because sometimes, yes, it hurts. And in these episodes, we're going to talk about the micromanager. Those bosses that micromanagers, those guys who put us in the trap of micromanagement. Have you ever sat down and just thought somebody is looking over your shoulders? Somebody is trying to pick every drop of bread that you're dropping. I remember when we were young, mom could come after we eat and she could ask us who dropped the grain of rice, who dropped the crumb of bread. And in the workplace, we still have the same places, but this time they just don't manage your work. They want to manage your breathing space. They want to manage how you move. They want to manage how many times you go to the washroom. Who does that? I mean, the micromanager. We have these managers in the organizations, and today we are going to talk about the micromanager. We'll talk about those bosses who confuse control with leadership. I mean, you want to control while you think you're leading. We want to talk the ones who mistake fear for efficiency. You think when you're afraid of you're being efficient in what you do. We want to talk about the obsession with perfection, how it ends up breaking people, how it ends up keeping their teams lethargic and they don't have the desire to leave. If you've ever felt like your boss doesn't trust you, if you've ever felt like your boss doesn't think you can do the best job, then this episode is for you. So, just to start us off, we want to talk about every little thing, that little thing that they're always picking up against you. And you've got a micromanager when you can't even send a noted email without them replying. They reply even to the noted emails. When you already submitted your report, but somehow they've slightly tweaked. I mean, there's like a small mistake somewhere. You put a comma where a full stop should be. They pick that. Suddenly, your work looks like a masterpiece, and you're wondering, was I in a grammar class or was I in a workplace? This guy sits on their desk to correct grammar mistakes. This guy sits on their desk. You're a professional in what you're doing, but your micromanager guy is there sitting and waiting for you to finish, then start picking the small things. Have you ever felt like you've done a very good job? Very good job, fantastic, splendid, a very good report you've sent, a very good presentation you've done, and then you think, oh, finally I've done good. And then what happens later? This guy calls you and like, why do you have 4 paragraphs instead of 5? And you're like, really? Why don't you have an ellipsis? Why did you put an ellipsis instead of a semicolon? And you wonder, is this what I signed up for? Those are the guys that you're talking about. What this does to the people that you're working with, what this does to the people that we deal with every day, damages their self-esteem. It hits their confidence to a low-time low. And what does that do? When the confidence of your employee goes down, what do you expect? Do you think you expect efficiency? No. Guys will sabotage you. Trust you me, if you keep micromanaging us. In fact, what I'll do, I'll sit back. I'll do bad reports so that you can edit for yourself. So the micromanager, that's the damage that it causes to people. Another damage it causes, trust you me, people don't quit bad jobs. It is said that people quit bosses, and they quit bad bosses. So for some reason, managers, they will act shocked when their best people leave, and they're like, why did they leave? You were paying them good. But trust you me, you didn't give a breathing space to this person. Look at the analogy of a child. When a child is trying to ride their bike, and you're all the time there trying to help them hold, this person will never ride the bike. But if you let them fall, let them pick up, they'll always become the best in what they do. In my home, I always say, we punish disobedience, not mistakes. And in fact, someone said that experience is not the best teacher. Actually, failure is the best teacher. Trying and falling. Let the people do their job. So why do these people do it? We want to know, why do micromanagers micromanage? They aren't just evil. They are terrified. I told a friend of mine sometimes back that your boss hates you because they are afraid of what you're capable of. And trust me, guys, When you're seated in that corner out there, we are not coming after your job. We're just doing our best to put food on our tables. It's not upon you to be terrified. You're not scared. Don't be scared. I can't come after your job. You're employed to be my head, and I was employed to work under you. If an opportunity comes for me to rise, then that means you'll have gone to a higher level. But you're not coming after you. These people are terrified. They think that once they let go, everything will fall apart. Things will not fall apart. Relinquish control. You understand? Relinquish control, because if you try to keep in so much control, sometimes you lose track and even you lose your life. So if you're listening and say, maybe I'm a micromanager, congratulations. That's a one step up. Stop micromanaging people. Don't be in their business every day. So let us say you are working with a micromanager. How do you escape this trap? Because this is a trap and it's going to hurt you. It's going to cost you a mental anguish. It's going to cost you distress in all that you do. You'll not enjoy your work. So how do you do that? Just keep doing your best. Set your boundaries and quietly document your genius, because one day you'll walk out of that office and people will say that there was somebody here. Continue doing your job. Continue doing your best. What you're doing here, a wise person once told me that the best way to interview for your next job is to do your current job right. So keep doing your best. The micromanager is not your problem. You are not the problem. They are the problem. They're scared little kids. They're scared tiny little children inside that need to take care of their own. They need to stand up. They need to pick it up themselves and say, hey, I'm a micromanager and this is what's hurting me. It's hurting my team and I'm not getting productivity. I need to change. But you, as a member of staff, continue doing your job. And for the micromanagers, the next time you are attempted to hover around like a hawk trying to see which chick you're going to pick, ask yourself, am I adding value to the life of this person, or am I just subtracting from them? Because that is a very bad problem to have. When you have such a problem with your people, it means that this guy will not even trust you when you give them instructions, because they think that the instructions you are giving are setups for them to fail. So, as a staff, continue doing your best. As a micromanaging boss, you cannot continue like that. You need to stop it. And listen, every person has their genius. Every person has where they are going. Every person knows why they woke up to come to that job. It is not upon you to keep picking and knitting and picking the small things that they are doing. Encourage your staff. Encourage your people. Encourage that young person who is still learning on the job, because you'll always lead people who are at a different professional levels. You'll lead those guys who are not good in grammar but are very good in doing their job. I worked with a friend of mine sometimes back, and this guy was very good in Sheng. He couldn't even write a report, but put them behind a computer to write code. This guy will do it well. So it will be futile for you to go after this guy and he's sending a report and they're saying, your English doesn't sound good. Are you marking the English or the output of the job? This has been the Under New Mismanagement episode, where we stop pretending that work hurts. Thank you.